Are you over 70 and still getting every health screening your doctor recommends? What if I told you that some of these tests could actually be doing more harm than good to your body and peace of mind? In the next few minutes, you'll discover the 5 specific health checkups that leading medical institutions now say you should seriously reconsider after age 70, potentially saving yourself from unnecessary procedures, complications, and anxiety. I'll also reveal the one test that even many doctors refuse to get themselves after 70, despite what they tell their patients during routine visits. Last month, 72-year-old Beverly from Denver went for what she thought was a routine colonoscopy screening. What should have been a simple preventive procedure led to serious complications that landed her in the hospital for over a week. Her gastroenterologist later admitted that given her age and overall health history, the screening wasn't even medically necessary according to current guidelines. Checkup 1. Routine colonoscopies after age 75. The first screening you should seriously question is routine colonoscopies after age 75, especially if you have no family history of colorectal cancer or previous abnormal findings. Many seniors continue scheduling these procedures automatically, believing they're essential for maintaining good health, but current medical evidence suggests otherwise. The reality is that the risks of complications often outweigh the potential benefits for most people in this age group, particularly when considering life expectancy and the slow-growing nature of most colorectal cancers. The U.S. Preventive Services Task Force, which sets national screening guidelines, explicitly states that routine colonoscopy screening should generally stop at age 75 for most individuals. Their extensive research shows that the likelihood of finding life-threatening cancer that would significantly impact survival decreases substantially after this age. Additionally, the American Gastroenterological Association supports individualized decision-making for patients over 75, emphasizing that blanket screening recommendations may not serve everyone's best interests. These organizations base their recommendations on decades of data showing that complications from the procedure itself often pose greater immediate risks than undetected slow-growing cancers. Consider the case of Harold, a 78-year-old from Tampa who suffered a serious bowel perforation during what his doctor called a routine screening. He spent 3 weeks in intensive care recovering from complications that could have been avoided entirely. The irony was that Harold had no risk factors for colorectal cancer and had normal colonoscopies for the previous 20 years, making the procedure medically unnecessary, according to current guidelines. If you're over 75, discuss with your gastroenterologist whether continued screening truly makes sense based on your individual risk factors, overall health status, and life expectancy. Ask specific questions about your personal cancer risk, previous screening results, and family history before automatically scheduling your next procedure. Request that your doctor explain why continued screening would benefit you personally, rather than following standard protocols. Don't automatically say yes to your next colonoscopy appointment without having this crucial conversation about necessity and risks. Checkup 2. Annual mammograms after age 74. Annual mammograms after age 74 represent another screening that deserves careful reconsideration, particularly for women with no family history of breast cancer or previous abnormal findings. Many women assume that continuing yearly mammograms indefinitely will protect their health, but mounting evidence suggests these screenings may create more problems than they solve for older women. The key issue lies in the increased likelihood of false positive results and the detection of slow-growing cancers that may never pose a life-threatening risk during a woman's remaining years. Research published by the American Cancer Society demonstrates that routine mammograms may cause more harm than benefit after age 74, particularly due to the high rate of false positive results in this age group. The study found that older women are significantly more likely to experience anxiety-provoking callbacks for additional imaging, biopsies for benign conditions, and overtreatment of cancers that grow so slowly they wouldn't affect lifespan. Harvard Medical School researchers have noted that breast tissue changes with age, making mammograms less accurate and more likely to detect insignificant abnormalities that require further investigation. The emotional and physical toll of these follow-up procedures often outweighs the small probability of finding a cancer that would significantly impact survival. Take the experience of Diana, a healthy 76-year-old from Phoenix who endured 6 months of stress and 3 painful biopsies following a suspicious mammogram reading. All the biopsies revealed benign tissue, but the months of worry and medical procedures took a significant toll on her mental health and quality of life. Her oncologist later explained that even if a slow-growing cancer had been present, it likely wouldn't have affected her lifespan given her age and overall health status. Have an honest conversation with your doctor about your individual breast cancer risk factors, family history, and overall life expectancy before scheduling another mammogram. Ask whether continuing annual screening truly benefits your specific situation or if less frequent screening might be more appropriate. Consider requesting a consultation with a breast specialist who can provide personalized risk assessment rather than following general screening protocols. Stop automatically scheduling yearly mammograms and make it a thoughtful, individualized decision based on your unique circumstances. Checkup 3. Pap smears after age 65. Pap smear screening after age 65 continues unnecessarily for many women who could safely discontinue this uncomfortable procedure, yet they keep scheduling appointments out of habit or fear. Most women don't realize that cervical cancer screening guidelines have changed significantly, and continuing pap smears beyond age 65 may expose them to unnecessary discomfort and anxiety without meaningful health benefits. The confusion often stems from outdated information and the tendency for both patients and some healthcare providers to follow old protocols rather than current evidence-based recommendations. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, along with the American Cancer Society, clearly recommends stopping pap smear screening at age 65 for women who have had adequate prior screening with normal results. Their guidelines specify that women who have had 3 consecutive normal pap tests or 2 consecutive normal co-tests within the past 10 years can safely discontinue screening. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention supports these recommendations, noting that cervical cancer risk decreases significantly with age, particularly for women who have been regularly screened throughout their lives. The medical consensus recognizes that continuing unnecessary screening exposes older women to false positive results, additional procedures, and anxiety without providing meaningful protection against cervical cancer. Consider Janet, a 68-year-old from Minneapolis, who continued getting annual pap smears despite having completely normal results for over 25 years. She endured years of discomfort and anxiety around these appointments, unaware that medical guidelines no longer recommended continued screening for someone in her situation. When she finally learned about the updated recommendations, she felt relieved to discontinue unnecessary procedures while maintaining her overall gynecological health through regular wellness visits. If you're over 65 and have had normal pap smear results throughout your screening history, discuss discontinuing routine pap smears with your gynecologist at your next appointment. Bring a list of your previous screening results and ask whether you meet the criteria for stopping routine cervical cancer screening based on current medical guidelines. Request clarification about what constitutes adequate prior screening to ensure you understand whether continued testing serves any purpose for your individual situation. Don't continue enduring uncomfortable procedures that medical experts no longer recommend for your age group and screening history. Checkup 4. Routine PSA screening. After age 70, routine PSA blood tests for prostate cancer screening after age 70 often create more anxiety and medical complications than they prevent. Yet many men continue these tests, assuming they're protecting their health. The challenge with PSA screening in older men lies in the high likelihood of detecting slow-growing prostate cancers that may never cause symptoms or threaten life expectancy. Unfortunately, finding these cancers through screening often leads to aggressive treatments that can significantly impact quality of life without extending survival, creating a situation where the cure becomes worse than the disease. The American Urological Association has updated their guidelines to emphasize that PSA screening after age 70 should be highly individualized rather than routine, taking into account overall health status, life expectancy, and personal risk factors. Research published in the New England Journal of Medicine demonstrates that routine PSA screening in men over 70 frequently leads to overdiagnosis and overtreatment of cancers that would never have caused problems during the patient's lifetime. The Mayo Clinic notes that PSA levels naturally rise with age, making false positive results more common and leading to unnecessary anxiety, biopsies, and treatments. Medical experts increasingly recognize that the potential harms of routine screening often outweigh the benefits for most men in this age group. Frank, a healthy 73-year-old from Seattle, provides a perfect example of PSA screening complications. His slightly elevated PSA led to an uncomfortable prostate biopsy that resulted in a serious infection requiring hospitalization and weeks of recovery time. The biopsy revealed a very small, slow-growing cancer that his urologist admitted would likely never have affected his health or lifespan. Yet the screening process caused significant physical and emotional distress that could have been avoided entirely. Before agreeing to another PSA test, discuss your individual risk factors, overall health status, and life expectancy honestly with your primary care physician or urologist. Ask specific questions about what would happen if the test reveals an elevated PSA, and whether you would want to pursue further testing or treatment at your age. Consider requesting a consultation with a urologist who specializes in geriatric care to get personalized advice about screening benefits and risks. Don't automatically agree to routine PSA screening without understanding whether it truly serves your best interests at this stage of life. Checkup 5. Routine cardiac stress tests for asymptomatic seniors. Cardiac stress testing for seniors who have no heart-related symptoms represents another area where routine screening may cause more problems than it solves, despite the common belief that these tests provide valuable early detection of heart problems. The issue lies in the high rate of false positive results in older adults, which can lead to unnecessary cardiac procedures, anxiety, and medical interventions that carry significant risks without clear benefits. Many seniors undergo these tests as part of routine physical exams or pre-surgical clearances, not realizing that current cardiology guidelines advise against screening asymptomatic patients. The American College of Cardiology strongly advises against routine stress testing in asymptomatic patients over 70, emphasizing that these tests should only be performed when patients have specific symptoms like chest pain, shortness of breath, or other concerning signs of heart disease. Research from Johns Hopkins demonstrates that stress tests in asymptomatic older adults frequently produce false positive results due to age-related changes in heart function and electrical activity. The American Heart Association supports targeted, rather than routine cardiac testing, noting that unnecessary stress tests often lead to cardiac catheterizations and other invasive procedures that expose patients to serious complications, including bleeding, infection, and even heart attack or stroke. Current medical evidence shows that routine cardiac screening in healthy seniors doesn't improve outcomes, but significantly increases healthcare costs and potential harm. The case of Walter, a 74-year-old from Chicago, illustrates the dangers of unnecessary cardiac testing perfectly. His routine pre-operative stress test showed abnormal results despite having no chest pain or breathing problems, leading to an emergency cardiac catheterization that revealed completely normal arteries. However, the catheterization procedure caused a serious bleeding complication that delayed his needed hip surgery by 6 months and required multiple blood transfusions to resolve. Only agree to cardiac stress tests if you're experiencing specific symptoms like chest discomfort, unusual shortness of breath during normal activities, or if your doctor has identified specific risk factors that warrant investigation. Ask your cardiologist or primary care physician to explain exactly why a stress test is necessary for your individual situation rather than accepting routine screening recommendations. Request detailed information about what the test results would mean for your treatment plan and whether you would want to pursue further interventions based on potential findings. Don't subject yourself to unnecessary cardiac procedures by agreeing to routine stress testing when you have no symptoms or concerning findings on basic evaluations. Understanding these 5 screening recommendations empowers you to make informed healthcare decisions that prioritize your quality of life and individual risk factors over blanket medical protocols. Remember that being an informed patient means asking thoughtful questions about every test and procedure, understanding the real benefits and risks, and making decisions based on your personal health situation rather than assuming that more screening always equals better care. These guidelines from major medical institutions exist to protect seniors from unnecessary procedures, while ensuring that truly beneficial screenings continue when medically appropriate. The key takeaway is that healthcare after 70 should focus on personalized care rather than routine screening protocols designed for younger populations. By questioning these 5 screenings and having honest conversations with your healthcare providers, you can avoid unnecessary procedures while maintaining excellent health management tailored to your specific needs and circumstances. If this information has opened your eyes about potentially unnecessary medical screenings, please share this video with other seniors who deserve to know these important facts about age-appropriate healthcare. What screening will you discuss with your doctor at your next appointment? And have you ever experienced complications from any of these procedures? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe for more essential health information that puts your well-being first.